Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. All right. We've had problems getting internet access, I think. So I know this is like quite sad at a web developers conference, but at least it'll mean that you can't do anything other than listen to us. So that's probably a good thing. But in case you didn't know, the hashtag is Digpen, and there are some people that didn't make it today. So please do send some tweets. It's really important that we do that. I don't know if any of you know @Rockster on there. He actually picked the date for this, and then he found out he was on holiday. So I told him that we'd send him tweets just to let him know what he's missing. So you might want to tweet him. Okay, right. I'm going to just recap and just tell you what happened last time as a bit of background for those that didn't come. First of all, can anybody who was here last time stand up? Thank you. Because you've all seen that tweet around about sitting down killing you, so I just thought, you know, get you to stand up. So, yeah, that's cool. Thanks. Now, for those that didn't make it, that's what it looked like. And any minute now. This is my daughter's computer. I'm really sorry. I have to apologise in advance. It's Windows Vista. And this was the first slide of our last conference. It took hours, I'm not joking, hours to work this one out. But I just realised after trying to think, you know, what do I talk about, what do I say, what do I put up there, what's it look like, that it wasn't about me or my ideas. I mean, it was just actually about getting the community together and letting them come up with some ideas. And at the first one, we didn't even have a name, really. And Digpen, by default, was just the hashtag, and that's what it's become known as. So today I have another slide, and that's it. And I've just done it in really rubbish font because I'm kind of hoping that somebody will give me a nice font that they've made, or perhaps a few different fonts, and we can see actually what looks best, and then we'll vote and see what's Digpen going to look like from here. So I don't think I'll talk too much now because I'm a bit of a chicken, and if I get everybody else who's also pretty scared to talk before me, then I can catch my breath and think about what I'm going to say. But we're going to have about 10 3-minute just lightning talk introductions. 3 minutes just flies by. I'm sure they'll all waffle on a bit longer, but really it's just to get up and say who they are, what they're doing, perhaps something interesting that they're working on now. And it's just by way of introduction, so that you know some people here, and afterwards you know who you can go and talk to. You might be interested in what they're doing and talking about it a bit more. But Karash is going to kick us off with something a little bit different, but I'll find out what it is in a minute. Here you go, Karash. I'll put your slide up.
Use the standy up one?
Yeah.
Hello.
Right, this is you.
Oh, it's a bit low, isn't it? Oh, reminds me of karaoke days. Hello, I'm Korash, and Sanjay, for those that can pronounce that bit. Okay, this is a little bit off topic, and I just want to suggest, Frankie, that I do this first because it'll get out of the way and leave you to talk about what you need to talk about. I work for I'm Creative Industries iNet broker, and for those that aren't using a Mac, that means Innovation Network, yeah? So basically, the Innovation Network is a development project that's from Europe that we are kind of building across the entire Southwest. What's happening here, and this is why I picked up on Frankie, my radar beeped at the last one, but unfortunately I wasn't able to come to it. And it beeped because something really interesting happened in that you guys all come together from industry and said, right, we're going to just chat and we're going to all meet and we're going to network and we'll do our thing and it's all going to be cool. And instantly, that just like sent me, well, what's going on here? What's going on? And it was in Plymouth under my nose, which was even more like kind of curious. Oh, you got away with that. And basically, what we're doing with the iNet is to construct an innovation network across the entire Southwest. There's a funding support strand to it as well that's helping certain projects kind of get off. But it's curious that the industry seemed to be leading much of the innovation and activity across the Southwest. There was a history before of big heavy cluster organisations that were kind of, you know, publicly funded. That funding's obviously been chopped, and to be honest, I think that's a good thing, because now what we're seeing is industry coming along and saying, right, we want to come together, we want to do business together, and it's all about you guys, and not about some naff government kind of program that's been forced on us. So what we're doing to kind of aid that as part of the INET is we're planning to kind of map the entire Southwest. Now, we're doing that through a number of ways. Obviously, Digpen's one kind of event. There are numbers of these things popping up all over the place, and where before across the region you had traditional cluster organisations doing their things and kind of enforcing events on you, what you're seeing now is industry-led events just popping up. In Bath Camp, phenomenal. You know, lots of really interesting tech development happening over there. You're seeing stuff in Bournemouth just pop up. It's happening all over the place. And it's down to people like you just coming together and doing it. And this is why I find it really interesting. And this is why I wanted to go on first, just to kind of position what you're about to do and the impact that it seriously is having on the region as a whole. I get this weird helicopter view of all of these different events that are going on, and believe going to all these events is stressful, you know, all the wine, all the canapes, it's terrible. But it is really interesting because I get to meet so many different people. And I suppose what I want to do is just kind of leave you with one thing. I figure my 3 minutes is kind of over. Is one question to you, and one thing to think about, and one thing to tweet, or whatever, is what are your barriers to innovation? What can make you lot total superstars? What can make you become, what's this digital, you know, revolution that we're doing now? What's this silicon, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, bloody roundabout, subway, whatever, who cares? They're names. It's about what you're doing now, coming together as industry, as people, and how can you accelerate that proactively? Because if you can tell me that, I can design projects under the INET to facilitate and support that. So it's kind of like back to you. What are your barriers to innovation? How can you accelerate your businesses? Please tweet me, find me on LinkedIn, or just, you know, email me the traditional way. And yeah, I look forward to today.
Chris, I think you're up next. Chris is from CData, and he talked more about himself last time, so this time he's going to talk a bit more about CData this time. And he set up our LinkedIn group, which quite a lot of you have joined. And if you haven't, then join it. It's just called Southwest UK Web Developers. Yeah, okay, so I'll pass you over to Chris, who's struggling to get us an internet connection via his phone. So hopefully he'll have some luck with that.
Fantastic. So we switch users and then
switch users.
We might be able to get on,
right,
because now we've set it up, we might be able to get on without it.
Just
Just connect first of all. Oops.
Shall I talk while he's connecting?
Yeah, if you
All right.
hang on, it looks like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
actually. Looks like we might be on. Yeah, this is not my machine, incidentally.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Which do you want? This?
I'll have the roving mic. Hello, excellent. Good to be back. Right, my name's Chris. I work for a firm called CData, which we're based up at the Innovation Centre in Exeter. I'm here with Tom, who also works with us. So big round of applause for Tom there. Yay! Excellent. So we are essentially a data visualization company. The work we do essentially fits into three sort of quite closely interrelated categories. So what I want to do today is just give you a whirlwind tour of three separate projects that we've been working on in the last year or so, and in the hope that that will sort of in a roundabout way, illustrate a good cross-section of what we do. So,
do you want this one instead? Just need it. Yeah.
Okay.
Just need to hold a bit nearer. That's all.
Okay. So the first one I want to show off is a bit of work that we've done for Flybe. So this is just a sort of relatively basic example of standard data visualization work that we do. So Flybe have quite a large database of, in this particular case, its customer feedback data. We had developed a sort of CRM-style system which enables us to basically data mine this data and basically collate and display, in this particular case, just using a simple graph, even though there are other projects we've done which take the sort of data visualization concept much further. But we can very, very quickly sort and view by airports, both starting airports and leaving airports, dates, times, etc. So we can very, very quickly get an idea as to what customers think of the service that Flybe are offering. Now I can feel that the time is already getting eaten away, so I'm literally going to fly across to the next project I want to demonstrate. It's going to be quicker if I take you straight there. So, a more complicated example. This is a system that we've built for a local firm that builds double glazing window systems. This is a visual window planner. So using this, we can essentially draw a space, which is the space in which a window will go. We can divide that up into a series of frames just with 2 clicks. We can drop in our mullions or transoms, which is the spaces where the sashes and the panes will go. We can drop in 2 handles. So within 15 or 20 seconds, we can effectively build a complete window system. While that's going on in the background, the system will be scanning that and saying, okay, we've got 2 frames, which means 8 frame pieces. We've got 2 sashes, meaning 8 sash pieces. We've got so much glass. So many handles, and it'll even go to the extent of saying we've got 16 pieces of frame that we need to cut. It can work out how many pieces of stock frame it will actually need to actually do that. Every last component, every last screw, bolt, cleat, washer will be displayed in the actual products quote list. So it'll actually quote the whole lot as you're going. So I think that is a more complex example of how far we take this kind of work. Another client we're doing an awful lot of work for is the NHS. So I'll just show you this very, very briefly. This is effectively it's what we call a fetal anomaly risk assessment tool. And this is, again, database driven. We can assemble these sort of what we call pathways using a CRM system. And they will be displayed in this nice little tree structure here, which we can zoom in and navigate. And basically, each pathway represents a certain process. And at the end of each sort of path there, you can basically grade each process good, bad, or otherwise. So it is effectively a sort of complex questionnaire, but it's displayed in such a way and represented in such a way that it can represent slightly more than that. Anyway, I think that's my 3 minutes well and truly up. Thank you for listening, and I shall pass you over to John Cowan. Thank you.